Hey everyone, you're listening to Tori Talks, and we are coming here today to discuss the Tasha K trial. All right, yesterday, they closed out with all the witnesses, people taking the stand. That's a done deal. And after this weekend, on Monday, they will move into closing arguments from the prosecution and the defense side. And from there, the jury moves into deliberation. So my take on this is, will Tasha K walk free? Me personally, I feel Tasha K, not walk free, because this is not a criminal case. But will she win? Will she be victorious in this feat? And I'm telling you, I feel that Tasha K is going to get out of this situation. That's my answer. I feel that Tasha K is going to get out of this situation minimally scathed. I sound crazy? Okay, well, let's talk about it. All right, now, Tasha K, to start, none of us want our name defamed or people saying things untrue about us. Let's just get that out of the way. That's why we sue, right? Someone saying defamatory things about you, people are slandering you, or they're writing things about you, so you have your libel. When that happens, if the person has assets, then you sue. So Tasha K and Cardi, they have a situation where someone can recover funds. A lot of the bums who come on and have the opportunity to defame people through clout chasing, so, they defame people or they bring up people's name who can actually bring attention to them. So they're clout chasing. In that instance, a lot of those people, they don't have anything to pay you if they were to defame you. A lot of them don't have a pot to piss in, a window to throw it out of, nothing, or paper towels or toilet paper to write themselves up after pissing. They don't have any of that. So what happens? Yeah, you could sue, but then what are you going to do if you win? Is there anything to recover? So you have a lot of scenarios like that. Is there anything that you can recover? Yeah, you could probably garnish wages if they're working. What if they don't work? Then what do? You've racked up, legal fees. You have to pay a lawyer, which you have to front the cost initially. And then, yeah, you can sue for lawyer fees and everything. But that's if you win afterwards and if they have something to pay you. It can become really weird. So some people, are not even suing when they've been defamed. Cardi wasn't having this. Tasha K is doing decent enough where she can recover stuff from her. And then, and that's what we are here today, moving forward. Tasha K is a well-known YouTuber. This can work for or against her, despite attempts together. Altogether, it's going to be very difficult to get a non-biased jury when you have such a well-known person. Now, I know people have been saying, well, this is a YouTube verse, this YouTube verse, YouTube universe. This is a, just a collective one within itself. She's a social media influencer. So she's a YouTube celebrity. She's not an official celebrity on the status that Cardi B is. And that is correct. But Tasha K is climbing her way up the ladder of acclaim through what's happening. Cardi B is international, and because of that, whoever has come against Cardi B in this fashion, of what's being brought up, that's going to bring notoriety to her title. But you don't know a lot of people who haven't tapped into YouTube. All you need is one jury to be a Tasha K follower or to have viewed her. That can create biases in a jury. You only need one. No one ever needed all of the jury members to be Tasha K followers, viewers, subscribers, fans, or even have viewed her and felt some way about her before, whether you are for or against her. And I'm sure they went through this in the preliminaries of picking the jurors. But if it comes out later that that was a possibility to have tainted a juror or to be for Tasha K, that can create an issue for an appeal later. The jury members in many cases have caused appeals, caused cases to have to be overturned and retried because of a juror. Be careful. We'll come back to that later. Now, Cardi's test results were negative. True. But here's the thing. One, the judge did accept the bumps on Offset's lips evidence. That was accepted. And there's like an image where they show Offset with something that looks like it could be herpes simplex, whether it is or not. If that's accepted, that can be discussed to bring about, I don't want to say reasonable doubt, but it can bring about an inquiry in the mind of the juror. Also, number two, Cardi said, and this was evidence, this was a piece of evidence that was presented during the trial. Cardi said, decent, I have a cold sore. So basically, they're decent, D-I-S-E-N, basically in Spanish, basically decent. Basically, they're trying to say, I have a cold sore. So that's what she said. This is Cardi B. Now her results came back as negative. She's clean bill of health. She doesn't have anything. But here is the issue, and this is how I would be fighting if I was on Tasha K's side. I don't speak Spanish. I don't know what decent means. All I heard was you said, I have a cold sore. I don't know what decent mean. And as far as I'm concerned, that flew right over me. The whole decent, what does that mean? I didn't even hear that part. All I heard was, I have a cold sore. I was in the live that night. I saw that show live when Tasha K presented that. I saw it live when she presented that. When she said, she showed the footage and it showed Cardi B saying, I have a cold sore. Where she's basically saying, basically these fools around here telling me, I have a cold sore, girl. Can you believe it? But Tasha K, if I was on the defensive side, I would use that to my advantage. The fact that, look, I don't speak Spanish, so I don't know what they're talking about. That's what I heard. That's what I reported. My channel is based on commentary, and that's what I presented. She said, I have a cold sore. What else is there to really be perplexed about? It is what it is. Now, regarding defamation, with the cold sore issue, the negative results came back. Cardi doesn't have herpes simplex 1, 2, none of that. Tasha K submitted video of Cardi saying she had the cold sore while speaking Spanish, which is semantics, right? She said the words, even though she wasn't trying to communicate that or convey that to the public, that she really has herpes, any form of simplex. She doesn't name it. She doesn't have it. But Tasha's side can use this in the arguments just to bring about that doubt. And at least you know what? When you're shooting in the dark as a lawyer, or if you feel yourself needing to grasp at straws, and it's not a complete slam dunk of a defense or prosecution, shoot for at least one juror. If you can bring up, like if it was criminal, if you can bring up reasonable doubt, if you can get one juror to pull on the other side, just one. Somebody need to feel otherwise. And then there you have it, because they won't agree with everybody. And oh man, the defamation piece. Can you really defame a rapper who's infamous? Like, think about this. Cardi has been defaming herself since 2014. You know, she's mentioned, we've all seen these videos, the ones where there was the one where she discussed robbing men for money, right? Technically robbing dudes, getting their money and being out. She's a blood gang member. She was a stripper, which has prostitution connected to it at times in general. Boom, boom rooms, champagne rooms, all of that it goes down. Okay, in a strip club, if you got enough bread, what's good? You can get it straight popping and then go home to your wife or your girl afterwards, right? On Love and Hip Hop New York, she was messing with DJ Self. Self had a full living girlfriend. You know what I'm saying? So as far as her image and as far as being defamed, it's real hard to defame a rapper. Because unless you're this bubblegum rapper, that's kind of the image that a rapper gives. The whole energy of rap music is rough, tough, hard. You know what I'm saying? It is not R&B. It is not other genres of music, which is softer and more higher, or has a higher vibration. Rap tends to be a lower vibration type of music. How you gonna? I was just wondering about. I always wondered about that. Defaming a rapper, interesting, because usually the story they tell is one they defame themselves. They try to make themselves infamous just in the character or the story behind their image as a rapper. It's just interesting. I always wondered about that component of the case. Now, Tasha does not claim to be a barb. But we all can clearly see that Tasha's a barb. Come on, man. Tasha supports Nicki Minaj. The other, the Barty gang clearly doesn't like Tasha, right? But Cardi B, even though she has Barty gang and she has a group that loves her, not everybody likes Cardi. You know what I'm saying? Who's funding Tasha's legal team? I always wonder about Olga's funds and the other guy on the team. It's a lot of money and billable hours that had to be racked up over the past years. All this been going on since before the pandemic. This got started before Tasha was even pregnant, right? When we saw her, drinking water, and she told us, she's just drinking water because of sickness and whatnot. Before the baby, okay, before she was pregnant with the baby, all this been going on for years, and it's finally coming to a head in 2022. That's a lot of money over time. Who who's funding this? Is Nicki funding this bad boy or other Cardi haters? I wonder. It's food for thought. It's definitely food for thought. But I want to discuss the legal team and why is Olga being dismantled to the degree that she is. Now, she has shown a lot of incompetence as a legal professional. Esquire need to go back in, honey. Esquire need to go back into the vault and definitely refresh her tactics. Strategy needs to be worked on. Definitely, the way she has performed at this point in the Tasha K case can be career destroying. Because the hell with AVO, the AVVO.com website where you can go get information about lawyers, where everybody's been pulling the information saying that Tasha K was bashing Olga back in 2021 June. You ain't got to worry about AVO no more. If Olga can't pull this off, Tasha K may be her last client. Okay? This girl may have to go into retirement after this if it doesn't go well, because she's been on a really national stage and she's been bashed. But there's a way to pivot from this, and we're going to talk about it, because at the end of the day, the way Olga and her team swings this now or later can be a pivoting point for her career. This can make or break her. But the way it's looking now, if she can pull Tasha out of this scenario in some way, shape, or form, either now or in an appellate situation, this can be catapulting for her career. We're going to see. We're going to see. We're going to see. Cardi was humiliated to a high degree. That's definitely true. She was definitely humiliated. And Tasha K, started migrating away from YouTube months ago, almost a year ago at this point. We're approaching almost a year that she started migrating from YouTube with the app and her own website, kind of funneling that 900,000, now 1 million in that direction. So this is going to be platform building for Tasha K. It's going to be, a lot of people all over YouTube, I didn't know they hated this woman to the degree. So it's like, dang, out that million, how many of them are real winos? Dang, she probably got about a good 200 or 300 real winos. And the other 700,000 are straight haters who subscribed. They hate watch. I didn't know that before this case, but I see it now. But it really looks like Tasha K loves to hate, because a viewer is a viewer. Whether you are hate watching or you love her, you're still a viewer at the end of the day. So I'm wondering, when we think of support, views, subscribers, winos, hate watchers, support-wise, who's funding this legal team? Could this be a Nicki Minaj support? Or not even Nicki? Can it be another Cardi B hater in the industry who's funding this legal team? And that there is definitely a purpose behind it. Why? Because why is this case so one-sided? I ain't never, I would be crushed, peeing all through the night, every hour, if I had a case like this that was so skewed. It is so one-sided. I always think of opposites and trends. I love the underdog. I love playing devil's advocate. And that's just natural inquisitiveness. If she loves it, if she loses, it will be too obvious. Some people don't have brains in the brain, and then some people have lame brains. Okay? And some people are lame brains. But if she loses, it's just too obvious. We're going to come back to this now. I promise you. It'll be too obvious. It's been, from what I've been observing, it has been a very biased case for right now. Everything's been very biased. The developments, but will the outcome be what you think? Will she be the phoenix to rise from the ashes when it's all said and done? Come on, even the husband turned on her and she on him. And I can see them disassociating one another, personal from corporate. I get that. But usually married couples in a court of law are considered to be one person in unison, and they should be moving as if they are one breathing organism. We didn't see that with her and her husband, which just is another check mark on the opposing side, that there's dissension and division even within the camp. When you have that many X marks, it makes me start thinking, my antennas go up. I'm telling you, my antennas go up. See, the simple-minded individual is thinking single planar. So you're thinking about whatever the outcome will be next week. I think in the future. I think about the fact that this case has been very biased in Cardi's favor from inception last week and continued this week. There's been a lot of one-sidedness. If I was on the legal team, I would come back and claim biases against Tasha K. They've been talking. I mean, she's been hung at the stake. They've been burning and roasting that ass all week and all last week. That's a lot. All you need is one juror to have jumped on. I don't know how much of their devices and stuff they've taken away from them. But if a juror jumped on YouTube to look more into her anytime during the trial, that brings about another issue right there. That skews. We're going to talk about the judge. He's been extremely negative. The judge has been very negative. Very negative. That can skew jurors' perception of a party. And then, Wendy Williams. I always saw Tasha K as having Wendy Williams attributes. She has given her a lot of credit on her platform many of times as being the GOAT and really her inspiration. And she should, because they really have a lot of attributes that resemble one another. They're both experiencing public embarrassment and ridicule this week. From Wendy being found in her birthday suit, playing around with herself and stuff like that. Whoa. And this is happening the same week that Tasha K has all this going on. This trial has made it to the Breakfast Club. So don't act like it's chopped liver just because Tasha K is a YouTuber. Please don't act like it's chopped liver, because see, Tasha K has crossed into dealing with celebrities. And once she starts crossing into dealing with celebrities on the level in which she has, she's not a small fish anymore. She's heading up to being a whale. And y'all gonna need to understand this. I don't understand why you're not getting it. Will Tasha K be victorious in this scenario? I personally feel she will. You're looking at an outcome just next week. I'm looking at forward projections. Even if they don't pull it off next week, coming back with at least one juror having some issues with all this that went on, and one juror being able to be tainted from all the shenanigans, that's all you need. That is all you need. Don't forget Cardi B with the decent. I have a cold sore that can be used. And for the people who are saying, well, shoot, why they keep bringing up Cardi B's, past and all these different stories with the bartenders and bringing up Nicki Minaj on, and she threw a shoe at she's a rapper with an image. How do you defame a rapper's image when they push up infamy? Rick Ross, the big scandal and issue came out when they found out Rick Ross wasn't nothing but a correctional officer in Miami. Boy, you the biggest boss. What you talking about? You ain't been slanging them things. You ain't been flipping birds for years. You ain't been sending keys overseas. You ain't been flying birds from state to state. You mean to tell me all this time you been upholding the law as a correctional officer? See, that was a hit to his infamy. That was a hit to this image he has been trying to build up as a rap artist. Same thing. All them stories about what Cardi's done in the past, that all goes under her bad girl image. How do you defame? Can you truly defame a bad girl? Can you truly defame a rapper? Now, have you noticed that, Tasha K's personal camp, that's going to be a separate video, but her personal camp has been blowing up. I wonder who has the time to care about any of this if they are at risk of losing so much or everything. How does Tasha K have time to worry about Storm, Chelsea, Von Ray, and all this foolishness the week of a trial that can be so pressing that she can lose it all? And all of the people who are out here looking for this woman to lose all of her assets and funds, just remember the energy you put out. Remember this week in 2022 when you were looking forward to someone losing their finances and everything they have. Just remember this week, okay? Because it's still an energy that you're putting out there. And when you think about it and how this world works, everything is circular. The planets are circular. The stars are circular. The universe is circular. You put it out there, just please look for that to come right on back around in a circle. I would never wish for anybody to lose everything they got, because I don't want to lose everything I have. And because the universe is spherical, even a human, you can take a point on your body, put your point, if you point at your belly button and you go around in a circle, you will end up right back at your belly button. Start with your toes and move up and come back, you'll end up back at your toes. Even you are spherical in form. Everything in the universe, the starting point is the ending point. Be careful what you project out. I would never want anybody to lose it all. I saw so many idiots online saying, oh, man, 3 million, 8 million, 10 million. If you ever get to having all that, don't do it. Like, watch this, be entertained, but don't get so invested that you bring bad energy into your own life by wishing something on somebody where it could all truly be theatrics at the end of the day. Stop it. Don't do it. Stop it. Don't do it. But if we have a scenario where she's truly about to lose everything, how would she have time to even give a freak about this camp? If you about to lose millions, you about to lose meals, your camp is the last thing on your mind. Child, they will have to sink, swim, and do whatever they're going to do. We're going to talk about that in a separate video. But Kiwi Studios is just that. It's a studio. When you think of Tyler Perry Studios, he creates plot lines and all that. So that's exactly what Kiwi Studios creates. Plot lines. It keeps you engaged. It pulls you in. It plays and toys with your emotions. So don't get too crazy out here. Be careful. Because right now, we're building up to the climax. And you all are all hoping, oh, I hope she lose everything. Ding dong, the wicked witch is dead. Ding dong, the wicked witch is dead. Don't count out. Don't count out. Because something is missing. Why would she go forward in this fashion just to save face and risk everything? What idiot would be willing to lose millions of dollars just to save face in front of some YouTubers, some YouTube viewers? Just to save face, you willing to lose? Ain't nobody gonna do that. Y'all acceptance ain't worth all that. Trust me, your acceptance is not worth all that. Or just to save face, she would lose her empire? Oh, grow up. She had 2 successful mentors that she speaks about a lot. She has 2 successful mentors that she speaks about a lot. Gives a lot of accolades and credit to. Kudos. Those mentors, they helped her structure. And she learned from them so that she can build her empire. And you really think those mentors aren't in her life anymore? That they would see her as a protege of theirs, going down a windy road to losing it all, and they wouldn't advise her? Y'all better grow the hell up. Broke people, I notice, hate the hardest. And everybody who has aspirations in life, whether you want to be a thousandaire, a millionaire, multimillionaire, billionaire, whatever you want for your life, and you're going to pull that into your life, please understand from what we've been seeing this week that broke people, they hate the hardest because they're unhappy. What I've been seeing and what people have been wishing for this week, it's disgusting. She deserves to pay for bad behavior. I agree. And what we've been seeing, yeah, this is definitely repayment. But you don't be surprised if the phoenix don't rise from the ashes, child. That's all I'm saying. This will be a catapulting situation for her career. You just wait on it. I'm starting to think that even the Jaguar situation was rolled up into all of this. You know, Jaguar hit the scene in the end of 2020, you know, communicating with her and Storm, and then they fell out, and then it allowed Jaguar to eventually start her channel and end up with like 10,000 subscribers before she took her hiatus. Now y'all are all looking for Jaguar. It just makes me wonder. But we'll, like I said, as far as with the camp, we're going to talk about that in a separate video. Hopefully Tasha will learn from this. But I feel that even if she loses next week, an appeal is possible. I just really feel something is going to be revealed. Y'all about to see how much of a celebrity this woman really is. YouTube celebrity, of course, right? You all are about to see it. I'm telling you, I feel it, I feel it, I feel it. Because before I go, I want to tell you what an appeal is. See, in appeals, sometimes jurors, you know, they can have a conflict of interest. Biased jurors absolutely affect how fair your trial will be. If information comes out that shows that there was an undisclosed or intentionally misrepresented conflict of interest that influenced one of the jurors, that can be grounds for an appeal. The judge had to apologize to Olga this week. He told her to go back to law school. He going home. The judge said, I'm going home and I'm going to do research on y'all matter attackers. And Lord, if I had the ability, I'd have you disbarred. You don't deserve the law degree you have. You don't deserve it. This stuff these stupid pranks you pulling, this is stuff that you should have learned in your first year of law school. That's a lot. I don't know what I would do if I was berated, belittled, and embarrassed to that degree by a judge. But you know who else heard it? The jurors heard it. The jurors heard it. If I was a juror and I heard the judge come down on a legal team in that manner, it wouldn't be much that they could do to really get me to rock with them anymore. I'll just be like, oh my gosh, you're such trash. Ew, I don't want to hear anything you say. And the fact that the judge came back and apologized this week, it's almost like the judge thought about it and was like, ugh, let me go ahead and try to do some damage control. Who is to say the apology worked? A few minutes to undo how that judge could have possibly have screwed them over for a whole week. A few minutes of an apology, they may already be skewed. Their representation and their view might have already been skewed about Tasha K's team, therefore Tasha K's side of the argument. Observers, you have to think about it. Observers from the courtroom said that the jurors looked like they were frustrated with Tasha K. That can be for a reason. That those looks, the face says 1,000 words. The face says it all. They might have been frustrated. They may have been over this team when the judge said that. Honey, my appeal will go in. I will go ahead and start filing mines right away. There are pieces. So for those online who are saying that, Tasha K is definitely going to lose this case, it lets me know how simple-minded they are. It lets me know how single planar and thinking a lot of our adults are. So they don't really have that much to teach kids about being a critical thinker, being inquisitive, being objective. No wonder half of society can't think themselves out of their problems, because they don't know. They're not thinkers. I see pieces of this case that can definitely be a win for the Tasha K side. But because the majority of society loves to go with just that, the majority, you have a bunch of people online who are not seeing what some of us are seeing out here. We have some entertainment ahead of us, everybody. We will be back. We can discuss this again. I might jump back on regarding this, but if I don't jump back on regarding the case, I definitely have to discuss the camp. Definitely will be back to discuss the camp. Enjoy your day. Talk to you next time.